It's 20 odd cents better on course. Second pick easing is Sunboat, and then out to Kendelay. Country Lodge ahead of that, I should say. On track, Country Lodge is the second favourite, so that's good value at $9.10 on Super Tab at the moment. Certainly a fair bit shorter. Got a red cap on the rider of Country Lodge, Stephen Baster, as well, because Blazing Habit, the stablemate, is engaged in this. Moving in, Montepellatino is ready. Sunboat's about to come up. They're the two natural front runners. Sunboat really a bit of a distance query here. He's very fast, but whether he's got the stamina to see out of 1400, be interesting to see. If he can get a good jump from the inside and dictate terms, it'll give him his chance. But Montepellatino's a go-forward horse, might keep him on. Line looks okay. All clear is there. They're off. Sunboat won the jump on the inside brilliantly. Reset got away well. So did Montepellatino, who's driving up to attack the leader, and then Blazing Habit. Settling down at the 1200 metres. Montepellatino on the outside of Sunboat. They lead by a bit over 2 lengths here to Reset, the favourite, and then came Blazing Habit in 4th placing. A length and a half Fort Knox with Country Lodge around it, and Peridan and Kendelay the last two. Heading to the 900, Sunboat by 2 lengths here. Montepellatino steadies up second, 3/4 to the fave Reset. About 2 lengths further back, Blazing Habit, another 2 lengths to Fort Knox, and then Country Lodge, and 2 lengths at the 800 to Peridan, who's on the inside of Kendelay. Sunboat came up the side by a length and a half. Nicolik clicks the favourite up to second Reset. Montepellatino in 3rd placing, and Blazing Habit in 4th place the outside. Back behind these horses then Fort Knox, Country Lodge, and then Kendelay and Peridan. Coming around the turn, and it's Sunboat the leader. Reset only 3/4 away now. 2 lengths Montepellatino, and then Blazing Habit. They've kicked away then to Country Lodge, being trailed by Fort Knox, Kendelay and Peridan, but into the straight now, and Reset level with Sunboat, who wobbled off the fence. Back behind them then Blazing Habit, Montepellatino and Country Lodge. Reset takes the lead at the 150. The first favourite looking good as he shoots 3 lengths clear, and he's opening up that margin now. Country Lodge, Kendelay are running on from Sunboat, but Reset scores 3 out of 3. He is pretty smart. Reset by 3 lengths on the line to Country Lodge. Kendelay third. Peridan made some nice late ground, and then Fort Knox, Sunboat, followed in by Blazing Habit and Montepellatino last in. Number 1, Reset, on a Caulfield or a Guineas trial at Flemington, and he has won that in exciting style, beating Country Lodge and Kendelay. 3 out of 3. All of his victories have been over the course and distance here, the 1400, and he's run 124.39 this afternoon, 124.39. It's the slowest of his 3 wins over a slightly longer trip today. $1.30 and $1. Country Lodge $1.70. Kendelay $1.60 in the first on the program, 1, 6 and 5. Right from the word go, Dan Nicolik has put a big rap on this horse, and he's living right up to it, of course, and doing things that he can sit off the pace. If they go fast, he can take a position. If they go slow, he'll just settle where he wants to be. He's certainly got all the gears necessary. Looks a very exciting prospect by Zabeel from Assertive Lass.
Full in the west, moderate south to southeast winds, fresh at times on the coast. A top of 25 degrees in Sydney today. For tomorrow, Tuesday, chance of late shower and thunderstorms, a top of 25. Wednesday, showers and thunderstorms. Thursday, showers and thunderstorms. And Friday, you guessed it, showers and thunderstorms. So very similar to weather to what we've had over the past 4 or 5 days, with some very severe storms around the Sydney area over the last couple of days. All right, the first at Randwick.
Milk and Quatrefoil, they're set. Gates are back and they're off, and they jumped in a reasonably good line. Mr. Strategizer, the early leader from Milk, and Money, Money, Money is going up very quickly and pushes between the two of them to take up the role of pacemaking. Milk's only a neck away second, now a half length. Mr. Strategizer close up on the inside, and a length and a half to Quatrefoil. They go down to the 1200 metres at the end of almost 400, and Money, Money, Money quickens up marginally. The break is about a length on the favourite Milk. Mr. Strategizer at the quarters of Milk near the rails, and 1 to Quatrefoil. They start the run out of the back straight, leaving the 1,000 pole behind them. A reasonably run clip here, and Money, 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 3/4 of a length on the hot pot at $1.50 now, New South Wales Milk. A length and a half to Mr. Strategizer, and Quatrefoil, stablemate of the favourite, is last. The 4 of them in pairs coming down the side of the track now and racing along towards the 650. There's been little change for quite a way, and the leader, Money, 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 3/4 of a length over Milk, in close attendance. Mr. Strategizer parked inside of Quatrefoil as they come around the corner. Interesting race despite the smallness of the field, and Money about to be joined by Milk, a length and a half. Mr. Strategizer, who's into the clear, and on the outside of it Quatrefoil battling on. Milk got the better of Money as they come down to the 200 marker. Mr. Strategizer is battling on, and so too Quatrefoil. Beedman desperate on Milk. Mr. Strategizer a half length away. Milk is pulling out sufficient. Mr. Strategizer can't quite reach her, and Milk is going to win it. Milk has beaten Mr. Strategizer, Quatrefoil and Money. Well, that was an interesting race despite the smallness of the race. Number 1, Milk, Darren Beedman first for the Woodland Stud Syndicate, Johnny Hooks, and $1.50 in New South Wales. Mr. Strategizer battled on doggedly, as did Quatrefoil. Mr. Strategizer, a gelding by Strategic from Merciful Lady, Bart Cummings, Corey Brown. And Quatrefoil's a gelding by Grand Lodge from Waft, trained by John Hawkes, written by Rod Quinn. So Milk well named out of the Mare Coconut, by Strategics. So the Strategics have run first and second. Waiting on all the numbers to come up. The time is coming through at 1:33.46. That'll stand as a class record until broken. Lord Denning holds the course record at 1:32.29. So 1:33.46. They didn't loaf, did they? That was quite a nice, evenly run race. Numbers are up 1, 4, 2 and 5. 1, 4, 2, 5, and the margins a neck 3/4. 1:33.46. 35.14 sectionally, and the totes. Number 1 paid $1.50 on the only dividend, of course. The Quinella paid $3.10. Exacta $4.20. Trifecta $7.80. And if you've struck the first 4, you've got $6.90. So that was Darren Beedman's 58th Sydney win for the season. He's 5 short of Corey Brown. It was John Hawkes' 54th Metro success, and he's now 12 in front of Gay Waterhouse. So much for the first, the second of the day, and you can take out nothing. A field of 8 and the FNL Communications handicap due. Eastern Daylight Saving Time at 1:30.
Thanks, Ian. And Plains has come up the early favourite for that second race, number 4. It's opened at 3:10. It was Milk taking the first race. Our next event on Sky Racing, the first at Murray Bridge. They're on their way to the start.
At his last 200 in 11.65, so he has got that turn of foot about him. Now Denorum comes up, approaching the stalls for Stephen Baster. Joins Way West, who's locked in. 12 months ago, Murphy's Blue Boy ran near track record time, won by 7 lengths, but of course, as we all know, he didn't go on with it. San Zero coming up. Damien, of course, piloted Murphy's Blue Boy to that victory 12 months ago. And finds himself on the favourite again, wearing the Australian flag colours. Leach comes up into the stalls. He's ready. Didn't have a lot of room late in the piece in his debut performance. Here's Portland Coup going in. They're nearly set. Tantat Spur will take the outside of the 6 runners. 1,000 metres as Tantat Spur joins them. They're all in, set to run. The Amy Blue Diamond Preview. Light flashes, they're ready. All clears there. They're off. San Zero jump well, Way West reasonably out and is mustering pace along the inside. Portland Coup ridden for pace and Tantat Spur. Leeds dropped out to be last of all. They've covered 300 metres. San Zero is driving for the lead now, wants the front for Oliver, and he's working hard with Way West on the inside. He's easing now on the favourite because Way West wants that fence. 2 lengths away in third, Denorum, enjoying a good trail. They speed away, 4 lengths to Portland Coup, Tantat Spur and Leeds the inside. Way West comes to the turn a half in front of San Zero, who did burn a bit of juice early in the race. Third is Denorum, followed by Portland Coup. Leeds the inside and Tantat Spur into the straight. Way West again tackled by San Zero. They've had a battle royale up in front. Denorum's been sitting on their back all the way. He's producing something now. San Zero at the 100 in front by 2 lengths. Denorum knuckling down to his task. San Zero giving everything. He's holding on strongly. Good performance this. San Zero a long neck. Denorum. Leeds getting home strongly. Grabs third ahead of Way West. And then Portland Coup and Tantat Spur. Good performance. They've run 57.8. Very fast time for the youngsters. And San Zero getting the money, and he really had to work hard for that. Damien Oliver rides his second straight preview in the Blue Diamond, winning the race last year on Murphy's Blue Boy. This fella had a much tougher battle. Way West was fighting him for the lead early. Oliver had to steady up after using a bit of petrol to try and find the lead. He couldn't get there, then he sat second, and he was absolutely vulnerable at the 150 metre mark. But Denorum wasn't able to reel him in. That's been a very strong performance from San Zero to get home. Numbers about to come up there. 1, 3 and 6 officials. San Zero first, Denorum second, and Liege in third place. Way West, who went out and fought that early battle with San Zero, weakening back into fourth place. 1, 3, 6 official on race 2. In 57.8, I think that's going to be a pretty good time for the day, because as Andrew was pointing out earlier, there's been a fair bit of irrigation put on the track. The rail's out 9, so to run the 57 and change is a good performance. Home in 44.70 the last 800 metres.
20 today. He hasn't been able to win a race yet. He's run a few good races, but in 12 minor placings, but a win has so far eluded him. Maybe today. Here's those of
Certainly paying their way. Anyway, they're ready to run here at Randwick, 1800, race number 2. Starter has the button. Press the same, and there they go. And British Storm and Brave Player best out, commencing pretty well was Plains, followed by Can Sprint. Moving up rather swiftly now is Born to Conquer from Captain Daylight, and then Tiptonian, and White Tower is the tail ender. Into stride properly now and racing along past the 1550, and Beedman takes Born to Conquer clear. Plains second, Can Sprint, Whiter out third, Brave Player the favourite over on the rail. Then British Storm after a length to Tiptonian past the 1400 from Captain Daylight, and White Tower is at the rear of the field, some 8 or 10 lengths away from Born to Conquer. Along the back section of the Randwick Kensington track and at the 1200 marker, Born to Conquer, a length and a half on Plains without cover. Brave Player third. Well, he's certainly getting a nice run, followed a length and a half further back by the son of Jean, that is Can Sprint, on the outside of British Storm, and then Captain Daylight keeping company with Tiptony in the inner, and 2 lengths to White Tara. They work their way out of the back straight now and come along to the High Street side near the 800 marker, and Born to Conquer, a length on Plains, 1.5 to Brave Player, then Can Sprint, British Storm followed by Captain Daylight, Tiptonian next to last, and 2 behind him being White Tara. The field of 8, and they're all geldings, and they race along to the 600 pole, and Born to Conquer, the leader from pretty well just after the start, leads a length or so on Plains. Third is Can Sprint whipping up, so too is British Storm, and Brave Player snookered behind them. Captain Daylight to the other, Tiptonian hoping for a run through along the rails. There's some room at the moment, and White Tara not travelling well enough. In the straight, 250 left to go now, and the leader Born to Conquer taken on by British Storm, and Brave Player getting between them now. This is his acid test. They race down past the 100. Born to Conquer fighting back from British Storm. Brave Player can't go on with it. This is a great ride by Beatman, and Born to Conquer pretty well all the way to beat British Storm. Third was the favourite Brave Player, Willie Dyer Maiden, followed by Tiptonian, and then Plains, Can Sprint, White Tara, and Captain Daylight Absolute. D. Beedman. Number 2, Born to Conquer, just after the start. DB took him straight to the lead. He rated him beautifully, and when the real effort was needed over the last 100, the son of Conquer fought back, and he was too good for them. A bay gelding, a 4-year-old trained by Gerald Ryan. Well, with due respect to Brave Player, what do we do with him? He was given every conceivable chance by Corey Brown. He looked $1 million, but he wasn't good enough. 20 starts, 0 wins, 6 seconds, now 7 thirds. As the numbers flash up, 2, 7, 6, 1. Number 2, Born to Conquer, Darren Beedman first, 7 British Storm. Just fleetingly looked as though it might have been a lucky late pickup winning ride for Chris on the son of British Banker, trained by Gerald Ryan. So Gerald's Quinella the second of the day, and the disappointing Brave Player by Portland player Bobby Thompson. Corey Brown, 4th, went to number 1. Tiptonian, isn't he one paced? 3/4, a short neck, 151.83, just outside the class record of 151.59, and 34.63 the sectional time. And now some TAB details. Number 2, 720 and 170. Number 7, 180. Number 6, 140. Quinella, $20.80. Exacta, 41.60. Trifecta, 164.70. And the first 4 paid $584. 3/4 of a length, short neck, 151.83, 34.63. Now this third race is a very interesting 2-year-old. 1100, the Sydney Confidential. Take out 4, Sydney Symphony.
Looking forward to this race.
Can you give us any indication at all about work at Lindsay Park? Can you relate it to anything that we may have seen from the stable yet or anything like that?
Her work's been very comparative to Zilzi, who stepped out and won by 4 lengths here last week.
Yeah, okay, well that gives us some indication. Let's get a quick word on just a couple of others. More Than Fair drops a couple of kilos, which is the key.
I think so. I should have claimed the other day. Her runs have been very good. I think she'll run very well today.
Carlton Spirit, wide barrier needs to overcome.
Yeah, we're going to...
Now Mari Madeline links into 2 alongside Sharp Auntie as the fillies get set. Find the Cash has gone in. Coming up now, Scarlet Spur into the stalls. And out wide, a Grandma Gertie is set. Had some support on track, Grandma Gertie. Midnight Rock's been very well tried. The favourite is number 1, One World. Here's Midnight Rock coming in now. One of 3 runners that Mick Price has in the race. And Mick, of course, trifected this very event last year with Hailey Berry, Gaelic Princess and Rodine. Now, Midnight Rock has linked into the stalls. Dan Nikolic had the choice and has selected this filly. He's worked her and reported that he expects her to run extremely well here today. This is Hot Enough, Greg Child's ride. About to move in, and One World has wandered down the track a little bit. She, of course, created that great impression winning at Victoria Park. She is a giant of a filly. When she walked into the mounting yard, she really dwarfs her rivals. And she's getting a lead in now. One World in the Australian flag colours. So the big daughter of Danehill, One World, goes in next to Midnight Rock. Hot Enough took the outside, so the Amy preview for the fillies is set. Ready to go. Racing now. One World jump very fast. Sharp Auntie, the one that was a little slow. One World not mustering pace. And in the early stages of the race, Mari Madeline shows speed. Delicate Snip and Scarlet Spur boot up. Now Scarlet Spur finds the lead in the yellow ahead of Delicate Snip in second placing. They were being trailed by Grandma Gertie in third and wide out. And then came Sharp Auntie getting up on the inside. World Peace moving up about fifth the outside, trailed by Midnight Rock and Mari Madeline together. 2 lengths then to One World. In a bit of bother coming around the home turn with Hot Enough keeping her pocketed. And Find the Cash as last. Grandma Gertie working 3 deep, finds the lead around the home turn. Midnight Rock is coming after it down the outside, and then Delicate Snip down the outside too is One World, and World Peace is ahead of her, is starting to lengthen stride. It's Grandma Gertie in front. Coming home strongly now is World Peace, and One World down the outside, but it's World Peace taking the lead in the last 50 metres, and World Peace goes on to win it a little over a length to either One World or Grandma Gertie. Photo for the miners, and they were clear to Mari Madeline, and then Find the Cash, who made ground. Sharp Auntie, Midnight Rock folded the straight, and then came Hot Enough towards the end. Delicate Snip and Scarlet Spur. And the fillies have run 57.14. They've run quicker time than San Zero. He ran 57.80. The fillies 57.14. And the first starter, number 13, World Peace, trained by Mick Price and ridden by Darren Gauci, has taken the race out. Second, 10, Grandma Gertie, ridden by Brian Park, trained by David Hall. And third, number 1, One World, Stephen Baster and Tony McAvoy. So it's 13, 10 and 1 in 57.14. Well, how impressive was she? 26.70 and 6.70, outsider of the 3 runners that Mick Price presented for the race. And she has just descended upon them and has won seemingly with something in hand. A very, very impressive victory by World Peace, who's by Danehill from the Rory's Jester mare Light Up the World. and she drew near the outside barrier. They went very, very quickly, and she just overhauled them with a brilliant run. Grandma Gertie, big performance, up on the pace, which was fierce. 3 wide all the way. She's battled strongly. One World got into a bit of traffic, this big filly. She wasn't all that well suited here today. She just seemed to be all at sea, finding the line strongly at the end of it. And the other one that was well tried was Midnight Rock, who really disappointed over the final couple of 100 metres. Take dividends on 13, 10 and 1, 26.70 and 6.70 for World Peace, 3.10 Grandma Gertie, 1.40 for One World, Quinella 112.50, the Exacta 175.30, the Trifecta $939.70, and the running double $31.20 on 1 and 13. 31.20.
Rider in the yellow silks there is Darren Beedman. He's riding one of the first starters. Chili Trick, a filly trained by Anthony Cummings at Randwick. She won a trial at Warwick Farm about 10 days ago. There's Opaline into $6.20. Super Tab have got it at $4.50. So this is a filly that was double figure odds a couple of minutes ago, and it's continued to firm.
Set, and we'll soon see a start in this, the third of the day, the Sydney Confidential Handicap. They're all there. He's moving a bit, Spec Jet. Stands better. Off this time, he jumped pretty well, Spec Jet. Symphony and C came out well, and so did Opaline. Miss Glitter not far away from Zavenska, and Chili Trick looking for the lead. And then a gap to Master Strategy, followed on the inside next by Authoress, and then Son of Lawrence Uber. And Unicorn is last. They work their way down the side past the 800. And Opaline from the wide alley speeds across to lead Chili Trick a length and a half. Spec Jet third. Then Zavenska, followed by Symphony and C. Miss Glitter wide out. And then Master Strategy, Authoress, Son of Lawrence Uber, and 2.5 to Unicorn. This is the order travelling to the home corner, and Opaline 3/4 of a length clear. Chili Trick, Beedman's riders second. Spec Jet made the bend awkwardly. Handful for Boss. Authoress creeping up on the rails. Zavenska wider out, putting in its claim. And then Master Strategy. Opaline under the stick, taken on and headed by Chili Trick. And battling on is Spec Jet, and so too Master Strategy. And now Zavenska warming up. Master Strategy and Spec Jet. Here's Uber from a mile back. It's Master Strategy, the leader. Spec Jet, Uber coming home on the inner. Uber is flashing to the line, and Uber gets up to win it from Master Strategy and Spec Jet. And then Zavenska weakened in the last 100 from Authoress, Son of Lawrence. Chili Trick dropped out, so did Opaline. Then Unicorn, Symphony and C at Absolute was Miss Glitter. Number two, and the horse is known as Uber. Number 2, I checked with David Payne, and he said, yep, we call him Uber, as in Utzen. And Uber by Chavog from Coverage has been able to take out the Sydney Confidential Handicap, and looking pretty good too. She got home well along the rails. Uber, start number 3, win number 2. And accordingly has paid $7.50. Numbers will be up in a moment. Let's see what he's run. 104.28. 104.28. Record course-wise 102.95. No class record until now. 2 Uber. Here are the numbers. 2:11.31. Uber Scott Pollard first, 11 second. Master Strategy ran a good race. A Son of Strategic from Mystery, trained by Bede Murray, ridden by Danny Craven. A number 3 Spec Jet. Came around the turn a bit awkwardly, stood a bit green. He battled on fairly by Spectrum from North Jet Star, but with due respect, you wouldn't put him in the top bracket of 2-year-olds. After that, Gay Waterhouse Glen Boss, and number 1 ran 4th Zavenska. Very heavily tried Zavenska, but I reckon ran out of puff about 100 to go. Loomed up, looked a chance, but couldn't go on with it. Half a neck were the margins in the previous, 104.28, and the sectional run was 35.09. The runner-up, Master Strategy, battled on very, very well. That was his best performance to date in his 4 runs. And Spec Jet, every chance I thought. 3rd, Chili Trick showed speed but weakened out of it. The 4th went to number 1. Number 7, Authoress, got home reasonably well.
All right, probably wasn't one of the stronger 2-year-old races we've seen in Sydney this season, but it wasn't a bad win. A maiden winner at Newcastle last start. He's been able to step up in class today. Uber, 2:11.3. 4th goes to number 1, and that is Venska, the first for $2,761.40 in New South Wales. It's Randwick now. just a reminder that later this afternoon on Sky Racing we'll be showing you the Hanging Rock Cup in Victoria. That's race number 5 at Hanging Rock over 1800 to be run at 3:25 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Live coverage of the Cup from Hanging Rock. Now Doomben race 3 and 12.
All lights flashing. They're set. Racing now. More Than Fair jump well. A funny old start. Jubilant Spirit didn't jump at all well and straight out the back. Fairweather hadn't stepped all that well but is booting forward. Raven Protector fighting the lead now from More Than Fair the inside. Fairweather doing some work getting up to third. May cost us 4 and then 2 lengths. Perhaps a little more then to Lucky Punch, followed by Jubilant Spirit, and Nanbrook Princess went back to last. At the 1,000 Raven Protector the leader, out by a little over a length here. Fairweather second. More Than Fair on the inside with the run of the race third. Then a length and a half further back May cost us 2 or 3 then to Lucky Punch in the centre of a line of 3. Nanbrook Princess Surreal and Jubilant Spirit wide. Up the side, Raven Protector a little over a length clear. Fairweather is second. More Than Fair the inside, every chance. Jubilant Spirit creeping around them, got to 4th, and then May cost us Nanbrook Princess, and Lucky Punch is now last before the turn. At the 450, Raven Protector the leader. More Than Fair's getting a run away from the fence as Fairweather loses ground, and then Jubilant Spirit. Nanbrook Princess making some ground on the inside. Swinging around the turn, Raven Protector by 2. More Than Fair has had every chance. Nikolic is asking her for the run now, but this leader's going all right. Then Nanbrook Princess running on. Raven Protector's kicked away at the 150. Shot 4 in front now. From running on down the outside is Nanbrook Princess. Lucky Punch on the inside. More Than Fair squibbing at the last bit, and Raven Protector bolted in by 5 lengths on the post to Lucky Punch second. Nanbrook Princess third. More Than Fair struggled home after being given every chance. Then May cost us Jubilant Spirit and Fairweather last in. All the way for number 4, Raven Protector. Ridden by Chris Simons, trained by David Brydoak. It's bolted in, pays $9.20 and $4.20. Second will go to Lucky Punch, $2, and no dividend for Nanbrook Princess in third place. 4, 1 and 7 are now confirmed. 4, 1 and 7. Raven Protector straight to the front, and Chris Simons has rated her beautifully for an easy win. Lucky Punch coming from last into second placing, and the third to Nanbrook Princess. 4, 1 and 7 in race number 4. And More Than Fair, well, if you tried it, you're entitled to feel a bit robbed of a fair run, because well, not a fair run, she was given a perfect run, but either something has gone amiss with her or she's just very weak, because that was she was presented with that race and she just refused to run on in the straight. It was a very, very ordinary run from the favourite. $9.20 and $4.20 Raven Protector. $2 for Lucky Punch and no divvy Nanbrook Princess. Quinella paid $23.40, Exacta $49, Trifecta $496.10, and the running double $283.50. That mare's had 4 starts at the distance before this and hadn't managed to place in any of them, so she was considered a bit suspect at it, but the way she was rated, perfectly in front by Chris Simons, she's run it out very strongly. 4, 1, 7 and 4th in number 3. 5th in was number 6. The Kevin Hayes Stakes is the next. A good fillies race, a listed event over 1,200 metres, $100,000 race, and there are no scratchings. Tongue tie for 6, and race number 5 at 3:10.
Good race too, the Hayes Stakes. The runner-up from the 1,000 guineas in the spring, Hinting, goes around, resuming today after bumping into Special Harmony, of course. 1,000 guineas at her last start, best at 560. First 4 dividend at Caulfield, race 4, 4173, paid 1,000.